WWT presents Partner Spotlight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Partner Spotlight brought to you by WWT Presents. My name is Ellie Cosgrove. I'm a Global Partner Manager here at WWT. Today, we're here to talk about disaster recovery. As you all know, the cyber threat landscape is complex and relentless. I know we've all heard the phrase, it's not if, but when you get attacked. Particularly with the rise of AI and continuation of multi-cloud strategies, that sentiment truly has never been more appropriate. Breaches are inevitable, and when they happen, organizations must focus on resiliency, which is why I'm really excited to have our guest, Manash Kirtania, with us today. Manash is a director of product management for NetApp, which recently made available its new BlueXP Disaster Recovery service. It's a low-cost disaster recovery tool for VMware workloads that is simple to deploy with just a few clicks. I'm also delighted to be joined by my colleague and friend, Derek Albert, who's a technical solutions architect in storage and cloud data management here at WWT. Derek has over a decade of experience in IT working with companies big and small. Really appreciate you two being here today, Manash and Derek. So to get started, I want to touch on so many organizations think they have a recovery plan in place because they have disaster recovery. But knowing what we all know, the disaster recovery landscape has undergone major transitions over the past few years. No longer just natural disasters or the occasional threat. There are a number of other factors and issues to consider. So to start, I'd love, Manash, for you to give us your assessment on the industry as it relates to disaster and cyber recovery. What's pushing the need for innovation in the space? What's working? What's not? What you're seeing?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Ellie. Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. So I think we are in middle of some interesting times when technology disruptions and innovations are accelerating. So I would probably touch on three aspects. One is intelligent data infrastructure. The second being hybrid multi-cloud environment, and third being new technologies. So let me expand on those. We see a need for intelligent data infrastructure that can turn your most important asset data into opportunities, and that helps you protect your data against cyber threats, disasters, etc. And that also gives you the ability to manage the entire life cycle of data intelligently. And then from hybrid multi-cloud perspective, we see this is still a dominant environment. Our customers are buying, on-premises as well as cloud infrastructure from, the public cloud vendors, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. And by the way, NetApp is the only storage company that has first-party services with those hyperscalers. So hybrid multi-cloud is an important aspect from disaster recovery and cyber resilience point of view, because now customers have an option to select on-premises or public cloud resources as their DR target. And speaking of the third aspect, I think we are seeing that technology investments are happening despite the macroeconomic conditions. We see that people are investing in Gen AI solutions to take advantage of the AI, power of AI in developing new products and services. We see investments happening in the cyber resilience solutions to combat against ransomware, etc. And we also see people are investing in storage solutions, data protection, data recovery solutions, because data is very important to all of us. So this is an important aspect because from cyber resiliency and disaster recovery point of view, we believe customers' awareness has increased in the recent days compared to the past. So they're looking for right solutions and they are investing in it. So I would say, probably those are the few trends we are observing at the moment.
Yeah, so I just want to chime in again. Thanks for having me. We worldwide specifically, we touch a lot of different customers across a lot of different areas, and we also have a lot of different technologies, right? Not just NetApp in the ATC. So we get a broad variety of technologies, and throughout the course of 2023, cyber resiliency and cyber recovery, which obviously disaster recovery plays a huge part of, has been one of our fastest growing segments of business, right, from a solution standpoint. And I just want to emphasize that the rise of things like generative AI and AI as a whole, I think just makes the need for cyber resiliency more applicable, because now AI is everywhere, and the people that are actually creating the threats or the actual attackers, they also have access to AI. So in theory, they can create these threats faster, right? And I would say if you looked at the curve today versus attacker and person that's trying to protect your environment, or individual entity that's trying to protect your environment, I would say the hackers, because they don't have any policies or procedures around them, they may have a leg up today with AI, right? They can literally generate the threats and disruptions to business faster than we can mitigate them. And so, like Ellie stated, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And where we try to come in from a worldwide perspective is, take tools such as the BlueXP Disaster Recovery tool that we're going to talk about today, and help fold them into a customer's overall cyber recovery, cyber resiliency strategy, and make sure that they're covering all aspects, right? Not just disaster recovery, not just backup, or how fast you can recover from an event, right? From a ransomware attack. But it has to be all aspects of the technology, not just a single component, or you're just that much at risk, right?
Definitely. And Manash, you and Derek both just touched on a number of challenges, particularly focusing in on AI. So can you walk us through a little bit how NetApp's BlueXP Disaster Recovery is helping to address these challenges?
Yeah, I think what we see that customers are always juggling kind of three aspects, right? One, how to run their business, with stability. Then how to kind of innovate and embrace new technologies. And obviously, you need to keep your cost at check. So this is not an easy task, right? Especially, running your business with stability, that becomes a challenge these days, because we see, ransomware threats are, pretty much dominant, right, these days. And these are disrupting, a lot of businesses significantly. So what we see that, whether disasters made by man or naturally, right, you got to have some solution that enables you to protect your most important asset, right, your data. So what we see that a lot of companies, they actually have disaster recovery solutions in place. But a large percentage of companies, they either don't have any plans or they have inadequate plans. They think they have plans in place and they can survive some disasters, but when disasters really strike, they figure out that their existing plans and processes are not good enough, right? A lot of businesses actually suffer from downtime significantly. Um, Also, we have seen that some disaster recovery solutions, when I say disaster recovery, it also includes cyber recovery. Some of these solutions are really complex, and sometimes these disaster recovery attempts don't run smoothly, or even they are not successful. So in a way, I see, a lot of companies, they feel like disaster recovery solution is an insurance, high premium insurance. So cost becomes an hindrance in terms of adopting disaster recovery solutions. And complexity is another aspect, because your environment is always changing with new systems, new applications, etc. So having a holistic DR strategy for your constantly changing environment, that's another complexity in customers' mind. We believe these are the key challenges customers are facing today. And the solutions that we are developing, we like to address, those key challenges that customers are facing. And we certainly want to take advantage of AI, going forward, to simplify a lot of these tasks, that customers have to do today proactively. We would offer recommendations based on AI. So AI will be part of these solutions going forward, um, to significant extent.
So, Manash, I heard, I guess, to sum that up, focusing on cost, simplicity, and then minimizing risk. And one thing, Derek, I'd love for you to weigh in on. We are very lucky as one of NetApp's most strategic partners. We have had this technology, the BlueXP Disaster Recovery, in our advanced technology centers for some time. So curious to get your insight on what we've learned about the solution and how we expect clients to consume it.
Yeah, thanks, Ellie. So I do want to touch on. So people are always talking about today, what they're going to do with their VMware environment, right? Well, the reality is that their VMware environment is going to stay in place, and most customers are still looking at some type of hybrid multi-cloud strategy for that VMware environment. And the benefit of BlueXP Disaster Recovery is that it works very effectively with VMware on-prem and VMC and AWS or the other cloud-provided VMware solutions. And that's honestly how we took it and implemented it into the HEC. During the time it was in private preview, the actual product was in private preview, we were able to deploy it and enable it on an actual VMware environment, right? So I think we had about over 300 VMs that were on that environment. And we were able to then connect it to VMC and AWS, and backed by FSx for ONTAP, right? So NetApp technology that's in AWS from a storage standpoint. And within a few clicks, right, from the user interface perspective, we were able to take workloads that had no disaster recovery, right? We weren't replicating the VM. We weren't replicating the data store underneath it, or the volume, the actual data. We were able to take them and replicate them very effectively under a policy utilizing VMC and AWS. So the fact that simplicity is key, right? And customers need a simple approach in order to effectively manage. I think that box was definitely checked, and we were able to showcase that. We had the benefit of looking at it firsthand, and with that, we created a technical guide for potential customers as they look to deploy this in their own environments. And off the tail end of that, I also created my own walkthrough video of exactly how you go through and set up the environment, but then most importantly, how you would actually recover the environment as well. Talking about at the individual VM or data store level. We haven't touched a lot on cost, right, in the HEC, but definitely effectiveness and simplicity are key. And the reality is that a lot of customers out there, they still are running VMware, and I bet there's a lot of VMs in their VMware environments that don't have any type of replication policy or cyber recovery policy or disaster recovery implemented into the environment. And this, BlueXP Disaster Recovery would give them a leg up and allow them the ability to deploy a solution simply, right, very easily inside their environment within a single user interface.
Manash, so we've touched a bit on the customer challenges that BlueXP Disaster Recovery is helping to address. Derek touched on the deployment that we've had in our Advanced Technology Center. I'm wondering now if you can give us a bit more of a deep dive into how the technology is helping to tactically solve these challenges, and then maybe a bit about how WWT's input and feedback from our deployment in the ATC has been important as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ellie, for asking that question. So, BlueXP Disaster Recovery, we firmly believe it addresses some important needs of our customers with a very simple and low-cost disaster recovery solution for their VMware workloads. So NetApp customers, a significant percentage of our customers actually run VMware workloads on NetApp storage. Today, we support two use cases, as Derek earlier pointed out. You could protect your VMs on-prem from on-prem to on-prem, or from on-prem to AWS VMC with NetApp FSx storage. These two use cases could be very beneficial to our NetApp customers who have VMware workloads. All right. So earlier we talked about two primary challenges that customers are facing today: complexity and cost. So let me expand on those. Um BlueXP Disaster Recovery, as Derek pointed out earlier, is a very simple tool. You can, with templatized, environment, with few clicks, you can create disaster recovery plans. You can specify which VMs you want to protect. You can map resources like compute, networking, storage from source to destination, and you can trigger multiple actions like failover, test failover, failback, again with few clicks. So it's a very simple tool. There are additional functionalities like you can specify boot order, boot delays for VMs. You can attach, custom script to a VM. You can take application consistent snapshots. You can also recover VMs from a list of snapshots, and that capability is very important from cyber resilience point of view. If you had a ransomware attack and if you know the time, right, you can select the right snapshot to recover your VMs from. So all these tasks can be very simply orchestrated through BlueXP Disaster Recovery. Um, so this also simplifies, customers' user experience, as well as it cuts down time and, operational cost. So let me expand on the cost aspect a little bit more. With BlueXP Disaster Recovery, we offer, the target. It could be on-prem, it could be cloud. Today we support AWS with VMC and FSx NetApp storage. Going forward, we'll support other clouds. If you choose cloud as your DR target, you don't need to run all the resources on the cloud target. You can have minimal resources running, and as disaster strikes, as you fail over, you can dynamically adjust your resource level on the DR target. So that way you can cut down some cost. The second aspect is BlueXP Disaster Recovery is fundamentally built on industry proven NetApp technology called SnapMirror, which is a high performing data replication technology, and we preserve storage efficiency. So when you club them together, storage efficiency with high performance, eventually you can lower your storage footprint for DR, and that will save cost as well. But I think cost and complexity, those are good. But ultimately, with a disaster recovery solution, you want to reduce your risk level. You want some solution that actually works, right? And NetApp technology has been there for a while. Thousands of customers are using it. You can rely this solution. One other aspect I would bring up is with BlueXP Disaster Recovery, you can trigger failover test very frequently. And this is an important aspect because customers today, they have yearly once or twice, disaster recovery test plans. But with this tool, you can simply trigger disaster recovery failover test. And we use NetApp FlexClone technology to create a very lightweight snapshot on the DR target to host VMs. And because it is very lightweight, it virtually has no impact on the target resources. And thereby you can trigger this test as many times as you want. And that way customers can actually be more prepared how ready they are against disasters. Another aspect I would call out that we are supporting VMware environment on both source and target. And that helps customers to leverage their VMware experience, years of experience, the same run books and processes on both sides. So that reduces risk as well. So we definitely think, this solution has the key components that should, solve or address some of the complexities, the cost issues, and reliability risk level issues that customers have in their mind when it comes to disaster recovery and cyber recovery.
Manash, I'm glad that you touched on. I failed to mention the test failover, right? But I remember in back in the day when virtualization was first a thing, right? And people were trying to use VMware tools to test failover, right? They had to do it in a certain maintenance window. There was always fear that it was going to, cause disruption to the environment. And we actually ran through this test failover scenario in the ATC, and it, just like you pointed out, right? By using ONTAP technology, specifically FlexClone, and being able to, spin up that data at the DR site, which in this case was VMC and AWS, we were able to, show that the test would work, right? And in case there was an actual disaster, if we were able to fail over, all the data that was sitting there would still be applicable and be able to be, modified, written, read, and the VM would operate as intended on the DR site. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because I failed to mention it. Because you don't know how many conversations that we've had with customers, back in the day when they didn't know how to effectively or properly test to ensure that their failover or disaster recovery plan was actually working and applicable, right? Without doing it inside of some, 12 to 24 hour maintenance window, which kind of negates the point, right? To some aspect. And I'm glad that you touched on that.
And just to follow up on your point, Derek, I think the testing that you did in ATC lab, it was extremely valuable for us. The feedback that you provided us, that is very important for us, because it's actually shaping up our current offering as well as our future roadmap. So we certainly think, the knowledge of your landscape that you have, that gave you credibility to your insights, and we certainly values those, and we certainly believe we will engage with WWT for our future previews.
Thanks. I appreciate your sentiment, and I know that, from a NetApp and worldwide perspective, we have a very strong partnership, and that has continued to progress, right? For example, as we've expanded it with the NetApp systems that are in the HEC today, and the fact that WWT is investing heavily in AI and AI technologies, right? We have stood up two individual systems, right? One being an AI proving ground where, various technologies are brought into the ATC, connected with NVIDIA and NVIDIA switching and other switching providers from a high performance architecture standpoint. Obviously, NetApp is in there. But then on top of that, I think that NetApp has a distinct advantage, because there is a separate environment that is solely ONTAP AI, right? It is just NGX is attached to NetApp, and that is available for customers to use as well. So the ATC and our relationship with NetApp continues to flourish, and it is expanded right into the generative AI conversations, and the fact that worldwide is heavily invested in AI and how we partner with our most strategic partners, including NetApp.
Yeah, that's a great point, Derek, and certainly a big focus of the partnership right now. Manash, anything you'd like to add as it relates to AI?
Yeah, I mean, that's great to hear, Derek. Thank you for that. And I would like to add a few points. From AI perspective, we see that AI is not only transforming various industries, but it also sort of shaping up the future of work, um, the economy, the society at large. So it has significant influence how we're going to do things going forward. Um, and at NetApp, we certainly want to help our customers to reap the benefits of, AI. We have intelligent data infrastructure that is the fundamental, pillars to offer the benefits of AI. Ultimately, AI requires right data at the right location at the right time. So this intelligent data infrastructure actually allows customers to um, take advantage of our first party cloud services integrated with machine learning services from Azure, from AWS and GCP. For example, our FSxN first-party storage in AWS that works with SageMaker. Um, so you can take advantage of those, cloud storage working seamlessly with native AI services. The second point is we also enable customers to integrate safely and securely their private data with cloud AI services to to kind of expand the benefits of their machine learning models that can work with private data. And third, we help customers to scale their AI infrastructure on demand. And we have worked with industry leading AI partners like NVIDIA, as Derek earlier talked about, ONTAP AI. We have validated solutions that customers can take advantage of.
Yeah, so I just want to add, right? So a big focal point from a WWT perspective around AI, right, is around practical AI. Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody, wants their foot in the door with AI and wants to enable it. And if you look at statistics that are out there, less than 2/3 of the actual high performance architectures that are purchased are actually being used for production in terms of AI. And so our goal, I think, and the use of the AI Proving Ground, right, which NetApp is a part of, is to take everything that can be done with AI and put it into some scenario-based situations where customers can come to us and we can show them how they can actually solve some of their business outcomes with AI. Because that, in conversations that I've had with customers, that's probably the one piece that's missing, right? Is everybody wants the fastest and the most IOPS and the biggest pipe and speed and feed, and that's all we talk about. But at the end of the day, like, if you can't define what an outcome is for your business, then you're spending a lot of money for this high performance architecture and not getting any return on it. And that's where the term practical AI comes into play. Let's take all of the technologies that are coming out, put them in the ATC, allow you, Mr. Customer, to come in and test with them, and we will help you define or showcase what a true business outcome will look like for you. And I bet NetApp has a huge piece of that, right? I do want to emphasize a point, right, where NetApp has a distinct advantage, and that is because they have resources from a storage standpoint in all three public cloud providers. And as we look at AI, the majority of AI started in the public cloud with out of the box services, right? Whether that's from AWS, Azure, or Google. And if you look at the landscape today, only NetApp has a true storage solution in each public cloud provider. So the fact that you can then take those AI workloads that you generated in the public cloud and have the opportunity to move them from a data management lifecycle back on-prem is a true reality with NetApp. And that's something that not all other storage vendors can talk to or actually showcase.
It's a great point, Derek, and a great note to end on, really, the unique value prop that NetApp does offer in the AI space. That is all the time we have for today. So Manash, Derek, really want to thank you both so much for your time and sharing all of your expertise with us. And likewise to NetApp at large, just for the incredible partnership we've had over the years. And to all of our viewers, thank you for tuning in to WWT.com. If you'd like to learn more about what WWT and NetApp are doing to advance and secure your data, please visit the NetApp partner page on the WWT.com platform. We really have lots of great resources surrounding these topics, our labs in the Advanced Technology Center, and much more. And of course, feel free to reach out if you have any questions moving forward. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.